The Philadelphia Eagles had one of the NFL's best offenses in 2022, possessing multiple star-caliber players, all of which played a key role in the Eagles' Super Bowl run last season. But despite all the success of the Eagles' offense last year, there was one particular player that had his fair share of struggles, and that player was wide receiver Quez Watkins, as there were multiple instances of him coming up small in big moments, and unfortunately for him, his struggles have led to an offseason of uncertainty, in which there have been plenty of trade rumors, questions about his potential role next year, and a lot of the Eagles fan base may be wanting to move on from him. But now we look towards next season, where it looks like Watkins will have an opportunity to bounce back with the Eagles, and he undoubtedly is out for revenge on all the people that doubted him. So will Quez Watkins prove the doubters wrong, or will he come up short once again in 2023? We're going to talk all about that in this video today, but before we do that, make sure you go down and subscribe to this channel for more consistent Philadelphia Eagles content coming throughout this entire offseason. Around 80% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed, so let's make sure we fix that. If you do enjoy this content, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of it coming in the future. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the video. You know, when you think about the Eagles offense, maybe the first player that you think about is Jalen Hurts. Obviously, Jalen Hurts has become one of the biggest names in the NFL today, and he has turned himself into one of the best quarterbacks in the game, as well as an MVP candidate, and he just got a huge contract extension that's going to keep him in Philadelphia for a very long time, and he is undoubtedly the leader of that Philadelphia Eagles team and the face of their franchise. Maybe you think of A.J. Brown, one of the best receivers in the game today, who had a record-breaking year in his first season with the Eagles last year, and who has also put his dominance and elite skill on display countless times during the course of his career with both the Titans and the Eagles. You may think of Devonta Smith, one of the game's elite young wide receivers who has the potential to become one of the top 5 receivers in the league at some point soon, and he also possesses an elite skill set, and he's made some of the most unbelievable catches and plays that I have ever seen in my time watching football. Maybe you think of Dallas Goedert, one of the NFL's best tight ends who has the ability to make plays in a variety of different ways at his position, who obviously possesses some insane athletic ability as well, who I've seen make countless great plays during the course of his career with the Eagles. Maybe you think of someone like DeAndre Swift, the former Detroit Lions running back who the Eagles just traded for on the 3rd day of the NFL draft, who possesses an elite skill set as well, and should he remain healthy, he can have a breakout season with the Eagles this year in his first year with the team. Or maybe you think of the elite offensive line that the Eagles have, as that group includes multiple future Hall of Famers, as well as some other elite level Pro Bowl caliber linemen that together have allowed the Eagles offense to be able to dominate on the ground year in and year out, as well as protect Jalen Hurts very effectively. So with all this talent that the Eagles have on the offensive side of the ball, it's easy to forget about some of the other players that they have on that side of the ball, including wide receiver Quez Watkins, and he's a player that doesn't really get much attention outside of Philadelphia or among non-Eagles fans. And Quez Watkins is a very interesting player. I mean, this is a guy who possesses a great amount of talent, his main calling card being his elite speed, as he is without question one of the fastest players in the entire NFL, and this is also a guy who has had a number of different roles in his short career so far with the Philadelphia Eagles, and we've also seen him have his moments of success where he makes a great play, as well as his moments of failure where he comes up short when he is needed the most. So let's look at some background on what Quez Watkins' career has looked like so far. The Philadelphia Eagles drafted Quez Watkins out of Southern Mississippi in the 6th round of the 2020 NFL Draft with the 200th overall selection. So in his rookie year, Watkins wasn't expected to contribute all that much, as obviously being a 6th round pick, you don't expect players like that to always come in and contribute right away, and he was behind a lot of different other receivers that were already on the Eagles roster, and he wasn't really given a big opportunity to show what he could do in that season. In 2020, Quez Watkins appeared in just 6 games for the Eagles, recording 7 catches on 13 targets for 106 yards, an average of 15.1 yards per catch, and a single touchdown. So obviously these aren't very impressive stats, but again, like I said, he wasn't really given a huge opportunity, but he did flash his potential throughout the course of his rookie year in the opportunities that he did have. So then heading into the 2021 NFL season, Quez Watkins' role was expected to be a lot bigger, as obviously, like I just said, he had flashed his potential in a very limited role the year prior, and with several of the team's leading wide receivers from 2020 leaving and a new coaching staff, obviously led by Nick Sirianni, and a new starting quarterback in Jalen Hurts, Quez Watkins was expected to step up and produce in the 2021 NFL season, and he was able to do exactly that, as he became the team's number 2 wide receiver, and he put up some solid numbers. In 2021, Quez Watkins appeared in 17 games for the Eagles, having 43 catches on 62 targets, 647 yards, an average of 15 yards per catch, and a touchdown. And he really did flash some of his elite ability throughout the course of the season, as not only did he show off his elite speed on several occasions and his ability to burn past defenders, but he also demonstrated some of his other abilities as well, including that ability to go up and make a contested catch over a defender in crucial moments. So overall, 2021 was a really good year for Watkins, and his future was definitely looking bright. So I was really excited to see what he could do in the 2022 season, but unfortunately, things didn't really turn out as planned, as he had a pretty disappointing year individually. I mean, with the addition of A.J. Brown in the 2022 NFL offseason, it was very apparent that Watkins would probably have a lot smaller role in 2022 than he did in 2021, as with A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert all ahead of Watkins in the pecking order, his targets and just overall production would undoubtedly go down, and that's exactly what happened. So in 2022, Watkins appeared in 17 games for the Eagles, and he posted numbers of 33 catches on 51 targets for 354 yards, just a 10.7 yards per catch average, 3 touchdowns, and 1 fumble. So it is without a doubt that Watkins' overall production just completely went down in the 2022 NFL season, and he definitely took a step back. I mean, the big number that jumps out to me in terms of his stats going down is his yards per catch average, as his 10.7 yards per catch in 2022 were by far his career low. And I just think it's interesting he suffered such a steep drop-off, but it isn't necessarily the drop in statistics that made 2022 such a disappointing year for Watkins. It was his tendency to come up small in big moments. I mean, he did this multiple times throughout the course of the season. The first one that I can remember, at least off the top of my head, is the play he had in Week 10 versus the Washington Commanders, where the Eagles are at a key third down, a key moment in the game. They're down a score. They go deep to Quez Watkins, and he actually ends up catching the ball going down to the ground. And then since he had not been touched, he gets back up and tries to run with the football, and he gets hit by the Washington defender, and he fumbles the football and turns it over, which ultimately that turnover ended up in the Eagles losing their first game of the season. Then you look at other instances, say for example against the Dallas Cowboys, there were multiple times when a ball got intercepted where he didn't really fight back for the football. And then the most costly mistake that he made throughout the course of the season was in Super Bowl 57, where the Eagles, they're up 24-21 in the second half. They go deep to Quez Watkins. Jalen Hurts drops a absolutely perfect pass, and he just drops the ball. He whiffed on a play, and it's a complete missed opportunity because that could have put the Eagles on the goal line in the second half with a chance to go up 2 scores and get another touchdown. And on that possession, obviously since he dropped it, they end up getting the field goal. If he had made that play, who knows? The entire outcome of the game could have been completely different. So all these costly mistakes really resulted in a very disappointing season for Quez Watkins. And Quez Watkins knows that he took a step back this year, and he's going to need to be better moving forward, and he made that very clear in this clip.
I didn't play my brand of football all year, maybe in the beginning of the year, but for me, I didn't play my brand of football all year, and if I played this bad.
Why do you think that is, Quez?
Mental, honestly, that's all it is you just got to play through all circumstances, on and off the field. As Kobe say, you just gotta go to work, man. You just gotta put your head down, go in that dark place, and just go to work, man. That's all it is, regardless of the he says, she says, man. Just go to work. It's all on you.
So then, Quez Watkins under the offseason, where all he can really do, obviously, is just work hard and get better. That's pretty much what he said in that clip there. But this has definitely been an offseason that has been filled with a lot of uncertainty for Quez Watkins. I mean, there's a large portion of the fan base that has pretty much turned their back on him, and they're really pissed off with what he did last year, and they think that the Eagles should go out and make a move to trade him, move on from him, and get a new person to come in here and fill that wide receiver 3 position. And there were some legit trade rumors at a certain point this offseason saying that the Eagles would actually be very open to moving on from Quez Watkins. And then there's a bunch of potential trade scenarios that I've seen flying around talking about Quez Watkins. Maybe Quez Watkins could be traded to the Falcons. Maybe Quez Watkins could be traded to the Indianapolis Colts, which I actually just made a short on that not too long ago. And then something else that happened is that the Eagles decided to go out and make a move to bring in another wide receiver in Olamide Zaccheaus in free agency, and he's definitely going to push Quez for that wide receiver number 3 spot, as he's a very capable receiver. He had a pretty good year last year, even better than the year Quez Watkins have, albeit in a bigger role than Watkins had this past season. And again, I could definitely see him taking some snaps from Quez Watkins this upcoming season should Quez continue to disappoint, and there definitely will be a competition in probably training camp for that wide receiver 3 spot between Watkins and Zaccheaus at this point. But even after making this move to acquire Zaccheaus, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni made it very clear they still have a lot of confidence in Quez Watkins moving forward.
Yeah, we just added depth to the group.
Quez, I got a lot of confidence in Quez, and I know he's gonna come back. I know he's hungry. He's determined. You know, he feels like, you know, he didn't have his best season. Now, he didn't get the opportunities. We've talked about this. He didn't get the opportunities that he had in the past. And so it's just taking advantage of the opportunities that he has. But you know, Quez is our number 3 receiver. There'll be competition for it, just like there was when Zach was here, for different roles within that. But he, you know, we're excited about Quez.
Can I add something that you said to me, and I'm just going to say your words because I think they're important. I mean, you spend a tremendous amount of time trying to improve the offense, which I appreciate, and looking at tape. And you've come into me multiple times and talked about nobody's down on Quez Watkins in this building. I mean, we're excited about him and the skill set that he has.
So that's obviously definitely a good sign that the organization still has a lot of confidence in Watkins, although Nick Sirianni did say there would be a competition for that wide receiver 3 spot between Watkins and Zaccheaus, so that's something to watch once we get to OTAs and training camp and moving into next season. And you know, even after saying all this, I do think that there is really good reason to at least be somewhat excited about what Quez Watkins is going to bring to the table this next season, because obviously this is a guy who we obviously know does have ability and he has a tremendous amount of talent and he showed what he can do before, but I think much more importantly, he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder this year. He obviously has heard all the talk this offseason. He's heard the people doubting him, he's heard the people trashing him, he's heard the people that say they want to trade him, and he's ready to prove everyone wrong. On the exact same day that the Eagles actually signed Olamide Zaccheaus, Quez Watkins put out a tweet which he has since deleted saying, quote, "I'm going to make y'all eat every effing word." I mean, this guy is absolutely fired up. He's ready to come out here and prove the doubters wrong, and obviously we've seen him working this entire offseason as well. He's been working hard. We've seen a little bit of him in OTAs, and the guy looks locked in, and I'm, again, excited to see what he's going to do this year. And I'm not saying that he's going to be like a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver or anything like that. I don't think he's going to get you 50 to 60 catches because obviously he's still going to be very limited in his role, being the number 3 wide receiver behind A.J. Brown, behind Devonta Smith, and of course Dallas Goedert is going to get more targets than him as well. There's only a limited amount of targets to go around, but I do think Quez Watkins can come out here and play his role very well, and I think more importantly, he can make the key play when he is called upon to make that play, which obviously is something that he did struggle with last year. He obviously has the ability to do it. We've seen him do it before, and now at this point, he's hungry, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to prove everyone wrong, and assuming he's still in the roster to start the year, I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think Quez Watkins is going to do this upcoming season? I'd love to hear your opinions on it, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos coming like it in the future. And if you do want to watch another Eagles video, you can go watch this one right here. Now, with all that being said, again, pretty much all I got for this one, guys, so thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.